Mindset. I'm your host, Dr. Al Sunder. The conservative mindset is a weapon that is used and forged in this battle being fought, which is a cultural revolution between the radical, illogical left and the conservative right. I'd like to take the time to talk about a few foundational pillars to the Democrat Party and how they've been able to use this foundational pillar in particular to maintain a stranglehold on the mentalities of many people in America, particularly people of color, so-called disadvantaged people, minorities, blacks, Hispanics, etc. It all centers around a particular myth that the party switched after the Civil Rights Act, meaning that Republicans became Democrats, Democrats became Republicans, racist Democrats became Republicans. This is a myth that has been pushed down the decades, and like I said, is a foundational pillar that the Democrats have been able to use, that they stand upon, and have been able to use to maintain a certain mastery over so-called people of color, minorities, etc. We can plainly see if we go back in history that if we look that before decades of dumbing down in America, it was common knowledge of who these parties were and what they stood for. Everybody knew that the Democrat Party was the party of slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation, while people began to know and understand that the Republican Party was the party of progressive integration, emancipation, and freedom. People with common high school educations had this knowledge. We do know and understand that white intellectuals in the 60s and 70s began to push myths in academia. These myths centered around the party switch lie. White left-leaning liberal leftist intellectuals in academia began pushing myths about the Republican Party. Myth number one was that after the Civil Rights Act in 1964, the Republican Party had to recruit Southern racists into the party because they couldn't win any states in the South. This became known as the Southern Strategy, and it's primarily linked to Republican President Richard Nixon in 1968. Republicans had success in the South well in advance of 1964. Republican President Hoover won many slave states in 1928. In 1952 and in 1956, Republican President Eisenhower won the states of Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and Virginia, all well in advance of 1964 and the signing of the Civil Rights Act. Nixon lost the South in 1968 to his Democratic opponents, and Democrats continued to control the South. Jimmy Carter won the South in 1972. Bill Clinton won the South in 1992. Democrats continued to politically control the South until 1993, when Republicans won a majority of congressional seats. Republicans didn't win a majority of congressional seats until 30 years after 1964 and the signing of the Civil Rights Act. Another myth is that civil rights, the party switched, that the Democrats became Republicans and the Republicans became Democrats. Of the 21 congressional senators who opposed the Civil Rights Act and voted against it, only one became a Republican. The other 20 congressional seats remained Democratic for another 2.5 years, or 25 years. The Democrat Party claimed they were the party of civil rights, but more Republicans voted for the Civil Rights Act than did Democrats at that time. So we can plainly see that the party switch myth is a lie. Yet sadly, these myths remain foundational pillars to the Democrat Party and their stronghold over the ignorant masses. Like I said, predominantly blacks, Hispanics, and so-called people of color. The party's never switched. Get that. get that through your thick liberal mascot skulls and get off the Democrat plantation. The Southern strategy has become boogeyman rhetoric, and it was used in the past to get blacks agitated, emotional, and start running out of the Republican Party and straight to the party of slavery. The Democrat Party is the same party, but they use racially constrained methods to control and contain their slaves in modern times and keep them on the Democrat plantation. The party switch is a lie. The Democrat Party still hates America and wants to destroy America from within. They want to destroy America like they did during the days of the Confederacy. They have become the party tinged with Marxism, fascism, communism, and socialism. They are agents who are working in the Democrat Party, or they are all leftist and subversive. They have that in common. And they're working to transform American institutions from within, which amounts to a cultural and ideological revolution that is taking place right now. The conservative right and the radical and liberal, illogical left is engaged in this fight. Okay? The conservative right is being led by number 47 in the MAGA movement. Conservative mindset has engaged in this fight and is dedicated to helping save America from the radical, leftist, liberal ideology and its negative, destructive influences. We can stay tuned. I'm your host, and I look forward to talking to you further. God bless you and God bless America. I'm your host, Dr. Al Sunder.